Are you aware in every moment of the options that you have? The options to experience your true original nature, your nature of peace, of love, and happiness. And by you seeing it, you are vibrating at a higher frequency, a frequency which will reach out to many other souls, a frequency that will allow you to know yourself deeply and also to know the Supreme Soul. So, in this higher vibration, you can connect to the Supreme Soul and you can listen to the teachings that are helping now the humankind to restore their peace, their love, their happiness. Let us listen to these words of wisdom, the words of wisdom of the Supreme Soul. And whilst we are listening, as always, we understand ourselves as souls listening to their Supreme Parent. The Supreme Soul is invisible, doesn't have a body of his own. So let us focus on the subtle message and also become aware of our eternal nature. When each action is elevated and great, it proves that you have used your powers in action, in practice. Whether souls are weak or powerful, whether they are full of all powers or complete embodiments of power, this is known through their actions, because they have to come into connection with people and have to interact in situations. Therefore, the speciality of this physical world is karma, action. Just as the speciality of the incorporeal world is to be beyond action, that is, to be detached from action, so the corporeal world means actions. If actions are elevated, then the reward too is elevated. When actions are corrupt, sorrow is a reward. However, the basis of both is action. Your actions are the mirror that gives a vision of the soul. Through the mirror of action, you can recognize the form of your power. Actions are a mirror of your power, the power of the soul. So every action that you are making is an expression of the weakness that is experienced within, or is an expression of the power. And when you are soul conscious, when the soul is aware, then there is unlimited power available. Here, there are a few powers shown: power to withdraw, power to tolerate, power to cooperate, power to face. All these powers are available in the awareness of I am a soul. That soul, an eternal being of light, belonging to a world of light with a supreme soul. The soul is almighty, has all powers for all situations and for all interactions. However, If in a moment of forgetfulness, you come out of soul consciousness, you start to consider yourself being a body, then actions start to reflect that limitative view. You make actions that will try to bring you some benefit. You will make actions that will try to create some temporary happiness. In a body consciousness, when you consider yourself to be a body, you will see yourself as being insecure. You will see yourself as someone who has to trade in. You will try to give some respect in order to receive respect. You will give your time to get the time of others. Life becomes a business rather than a decoration of the soul. Your actions become the actions of a business person. You are selling your qualities and you want to receive something in return. That is because your awareness is not pure. You are not in the awareness of being a soul. And in body consciousness, in the consciousness that you are a body, everything is limited. You think that you are a body that has a certain age, a certain nationality, culture. Everything from here is limited. Possessions, friends, capabilities, all are limited. And in the awareness of having limited resources, you will make decisions to increase your resources. You feel like you don't have enough and you would do is a little bit more. So the actions would have the purpose of taking, getting a little bit more comfort, increasing your number of relationships, creating a new opportunity for holiday, receiving more money. All of that have one attitude, the attitude of taking. The attitude is a seed of action. Whatever action you want to do, it will have an attitude against it. And the simplest two attitudes are to take or to give. And even when you give, but you give in the awareness of being a body, you don't give altruistically. You don't give in a selfless way. You give just to get something in return. So the attitudes of taking are infiltrated everywhere when you are conscious that you are a body. Now, to create elevated action, to create action that will help you to reap a very good reward, you have to change your awareness. And changing the awareness is a matter of a second. You start seeing yourself as a soul. And that soul is already full with all attainments. I have attained everything. I am wonderful. I am full. I am perfect and complete. These are the thoughts of the soul. And the soul has all the powers. In case anyone comes and they need something, the soul has a power to cooperate. Of course, I have time. Of course, I can help you. Of course, I have the skills to resolve that problem together. And then the action will be an action that is naturally giving. You show to others how much wealth you have inside. That is a great proof of your spiritual knowledge. Or you are faced with a challenge. In this world of upheaval and sorrow, there will be many challenges. But when you are aware that you are a soul, you will immediately feel that, yes, I have all the abilities to face that situation. And I know how to help others as well to face it. And when I face the situation, I do it without violence or without selfishness, considering the benefit that everyone can take from that situation. So your action will come from an attitude of being a bestower, from an attitude of mercy, an attitude of constantly giving. Such actions are actually proving your spiritual endeavor. They are showing to everyone your maturity. Otherwise, if you tell everyone that you are now becoming spiritual, but your actions have not changed, your words are the same, your attitudes are still the old ones, then no one will believe you. It's like going to a war, but you don't have any weapons, or by saying that you are the best one ever, but you stay at home all the time. You are not proving your qualities. So, same with actions. Now, the more you qualify your actions from the consciousness of being a soul, from the attitudes of an awakened soul, the more your actions will be elevated and they will bring a very good return to yourself. So let us listen to a few more words of wisdom. Which special power makes you victorious at the right time? And in which power are you weak and thus repeatedly defeated? Some souls know in which powers they are weak, and they even speak of them, but only in an ordinary way. When there is a gathering or in an atmosphere of similar effort makers, the majority try to hide their weakness from others. Nowadays, illnesses in the world are not permanently cured because doctors don't know the seed of the illness. This is why the illness is suppressed but is not completely cured. Similarly, here too, finish the seed by knowing the seed. Some of you even know the seed, but because of carelessness, you say, yes, it will happen at some time. It won't be finished in just one go. It will definitely going to take time. So, what is a seed of all illness? What is a seed of all weaknesses of human beings? As already explained, the seed of all weaknesses is body consciousness. And body consciousness is a seed that has already given rise and life to a whole tree. The human life is now driven by this creation of body consciousness, a tree which is a tree of negative attitudes, of negative visions and bad wishes. And without understanding the seed of this tree, we are not able to remove the roots. You have to dig deep to remove the roots of this illness of humankind. Why there is now sorrow in the world? It is because of the seed of body consciousness. And this seed has created a tree with anger and negativity and revenge and hate and lust and greed and ego and attachment. All of them are the creation from this seed of body consciousness. So, what to do? How do you pull it out? You don't even know there is a seed of body consciousness, and you think that this tree is your Christmas tree. You think it is beautiful. You decorate the tree, you put some stars in it and some bubbles, and you think you are smart. However, the spiritual knowledge says this is not heaven now. And the tree that exists in the mind of every human being is not a Christmas tree. It is not a tree of happiness. No matter how much you are decorating it and try to polish it and try to hide your weaknesses, try to pretend that you are well, that is not the truth. And sooner or later, whatever karma, whatever action you have created, it will have to be reset. So all the habits that have been created, all the karma, all the actions that have been taking from the physical world, from nature, all of this will have to give back. Whatever you have taken, you will have to give back. And whatever habits have been created to create pleasure and to indulge, they will have to be reset to zero. You will have to go through a process of settling all the karma. And that is for all human beings. No one will be able to give some money or give some position or have high relationships and say, I don't want to go through that. And karma is usually settled through pain. So everyone will have to go through pain to settle the huge karmic accounts they have created with the body, with nature, with the five elements, with the other human souls, with the planet Earth, with the animals. All of that in ignorance have created a huge debt for each human soul. Is there any hope for human souls? The only hope comes from the Supreme Soul, because he is the only one who has remained outside of this cycle of taking and outside of this karmic debt. So the Supreme Soul is the only one who can show you how to create elevated karma. And you start by knowing yourself as a soul, and you continue by connecting your mind and the intellect with the Supreme. And that is the highest karma that any human soul can do now. And that is the most needed karma, the most important action that any human soul can do now is to recognize the Supreme Soul, to connect your mind and your intellect with the Supreme, to be able to restore your power and your energy by being in the company of the Supreme Soul. There is no action higher than that. There is no intention more elevated than the intention to be once again with the Supreme Soul. So, what to do? You are given the option to finish the debt in a royal way, in a noble way, by remembering that you are a soul and by keeping the company of the Supreme Soul. That will allow you to avoid punishment and pain. All the suffering is not necessary. You can do the highest action through understanding that you are a soul and maintaining the company of the Supreme Soul. So today, create such a wonderful, wonderful day. Leave aside the food, leave aside the rituals, leave aside the devotion. Use your feelings of devotion to take a high jump. Take a high jump to know the Supreme Father, not only to pray to Him or to ask Him, but to know Him and to be with Him and to experience your true nature of peace, love, and happiness, and to share that vibrations to the world. And this action will heal you and will heal the world. Have a good day. We'll meet again tomorrow. Bye bye.